you might be becoming an accidental landlord. You're not alone. In today's market, less homes are selling, and that is true in any market that's shifting or has shifted. And so a lot of homeowners are left with vacant properties and they have to decide what they're going to do. Either get very aggressive in pricing to move it or rent it out for a period of time. And then suddenly, without meaning to, you've become a landlord and an investor, and there are pros and cons to that. So before you hand over the keys and rent out your property, let's talk about some things to take into account. And here are the things you need to know. First, do the math. Don't just look at your mortgage payment and your rental payment. There's more to take into consideration. Consider property taxes. If that was your primary residence and it is now an investment property, you are going to lose your homestead exemption or any other exemptions you had on the property, and your property taxes will go up. So calculate what that looks like and make sure you account for it in that monthly payment. Don't forget to take into account your HOA payments, your homeowner's insurance, any repairs that you may need to make, and of course, the age of your systems. For example, your HVAC, your water heater, your roof. Those mechanicals can cost you thousands of dollars. For example, an HVAC system is somewhere between $10,000 and $20,000 to replace. Now, most people think, I'm going to rent it out for a year and then come back to the market for sale. You will need to make your property ready again, so take that into account. And then also there's a myth that next year will be better. It might be, and it might not be. I've seen homeowners rent out their property on a rebound. For example, we once had a seller that said he wanted to sell his property for $800,000 or he would rent it out. Well, the market wasn't going to give $800,000, so he ended up renting it out for 18 months. After 18 months, when he wanted to relist, unfortunately, we had to say that the market had continued to decline and he was looking at closer to $700,000. So can the market get better? Absolutely. Might it also not? Yes, possibly. So talk to your trusted real estate agent and get their thoughts, because sometimes it makes more sense to just be aggressive with the pricing and move on, and sometimes it makes more sense to hold and sell later. But be prepared that it might take more than 1 year. Now let's talk about your equity. This is my favorite topic of conversation. You can work for your money or your money can work for you. So take into consideration how the money tied up in your home could be put to work for you. Perhaps it's a high yield account. Perhaps it's a different investment that you want to make. Or perhaps it is recasting the loan on the current property that you own. Now, what is recasting? Don't worry, we have another video for that. It's not as easy as thinking about the mortgage payment and the rental payment. You must also think about the opportunity gap. But if you do rent, make sure that you know what you're doing. A&M has put out a landlord and tenant guide that is very handy for you to know what you need to do as a landlord. And of course, if self-managing isn't right for you, that's okay too. You have the option to hire a property manager. Now, generally speaking, property managers charge about 6 to 10% of each month's rent, but it might just make sense so you don't have to handle repairs, logistics, rental payments, and remove some stress. Bottom line, being a landlord can work, but it's not always the best financial move. The path is in the math. Look at the numbers, run the scenarios, and determine what makes the most sense for you. Whatever you do not cancel your homeowner's insurance if you are a landlord. Please talk to your insurance company, because we recently saw someone that canceled their insurance only to be hit by a hailstorm, and what could have been a $5,000 claim turned into a $15,000 roof replacement. And of course, if you need help figuring this out, feel free to reach out and one of our agents would be happy to walk you through all of your scenarios and options. If you want more information about recasting, we do have a blog and a video that talks more about it, so check that out.